And a warm welcome to PSGL F3 on PlayStation here at Hungary. This is the fifth round of the season. Here I am, Otaku Logan, and you're thinking, why am I still here? I thought we got promoted. Well, unfortunately not. Something happened, and I'd rather not bring it up. So I am made to do this instead again. Sorry about that, guys. I know you wanted me on F2. However, I'm here, and I'm here with the Ghost. Hello, Ghost.
Hello, it's my first stream my first commentary for PSGL, so hoping to make a good impression alongside you, Logan.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll be much better than me.
I don't know about that.
Well, we have all the drivers on the track. Only 15 tonight. Very quiet night tonight. As you can see, Finley, Napple, Coleman, the like are all on the track here. The I'd say legendary, but is nearly 40 years old. The hallowed Hungaroring, a 4.31 kilometre circuit full of twists and turns throughout. Probably one of the more interesting circuits on the calendar. It starts with a hairpin, and then it's another straight, and then another hairpin, and then lots of twists and turns around, a long straight, a hard right turn, another hairpin, and then another hairpin, and a long straight to the line.
Yeah, indeed, it can be a tricky track, this one, to really push the limits on, especially tough places like turn 4. It's so difficult to get through there without invalidating or spinning when you're really going for it. But this track lends itself to strategic battles in the pits, so we'll have to see if any of those materialize today.
Yes, we have a lap on with Coleman. He is leaving the first corners. As you can see, the collisions are off. Don't know why people are stopping track anyways. This is to prevent, obviously, the slipstream being taken advantage of, which I've heard is immense in this game. As we see coming through turn number 5. Is a lovely... No, sorry, that's turn 4. I do apologise. I keep thinking that little curve between 1 and 2 is a turn, but it's not.
Yeah, me too. I always trip up with that. It took me years to learn that turn 5 was actually turn 4. But yeah, it's Kuhlmann's doing pretty well here on his first run. It's quite easy to invalidate on your first run, so I think he's just taking it easy for now, possibly along with many others. But coming up to the final corner now, going in fourth gear on the exit, all the way down to the line, DRS open, and the opening lap is going to be a 13.563.
A good showing from Coleman as Zviadek sets a time that's over a second down. That will need some improving. Spicer puts a much more representative time and goes just over a quarter of a second behind his esports teammate at NLR. We have 4 drivers set on a time. Oh dear, and Finley's left the session. Ghost, can you try and get Finley back in?
I can do, yeah.
So we still have 15 drivers in attack front. Just Shorney going to the top of the times, 2 temps up from Coleman. Vita on a lap still. That complex between turns 8 and 11, you've got to keep it very steady and apply the throttle at the correct moments, because it's all about the application of throttle. If you apply it too early, you might go wide, and if you apply it too little, you'll lose a bit of time through the segment as Vita comes to the line, goes 5th, just below the 1:14 mark. Leonardo has set the 3rd best time. Napple up there in the top 5 now, overtaking Vita. 2/3 of the field have set a lap.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got extra telemetry on a second screen here, so I can help you out, Logan, whenever someone's on a really good lap. But at the moment, Acid coming down to the last few corners, the championship leader, of course, by just 1 point as it stands. Coming through the last couple of corners comes the driver for the Haas team. Obviously, PSGL using multiplayer cars because of the conflicting reports with the real F1 cars. Equality in terms of pace, as Acid up to P6 for now, some 7/10 off pole. So that opening lap from Franek looking very good at the moment.
and 3 thousandths off his esports teammate Vita. 4-7 versus 0-5. Two drivers haven't left the pit. Finlay, who disconnected early, and Slash doesn't seem to staying in the pits for now. Hasn't set a lap yet. Sieb is coming out for his first gambit, going through turn 11.
Yeah, on an outlap right now, just trying to warm up the tyres, which can be difficult on this year's game. Obviously, F1 23, all you had to do was hold down the brake and accelerate at the same time, and your tyres would be nice and warm by the end of the outlap. But now you have to work for it a bit. And it can be tricky to get them up to temperature. Some tracks I've seen drivers prefer to do 2 outlaps for that exact reason. Yeah, Sieb just starting a lap right now.
And off he goes into the distance, into turn number 1. Bit of a slide out of that corner before approaching turn 1.5, I'm going to call it. Into turn 2. Yeah, don't even think about it. Turn 3 goes immediately into the curb, not going with any momentum into the corner like you would. You go to the outside to build some momentum into the curve. I think that is going to be the meta game into turn 3. Before I can hear myself, by the way, Ghost. Before the chicane.
I do apologise.
It's 8-11. I wish there was another corner. I'd call it 7-11. But through he comes towards the turn, just stays in bounds. That was a close one.
I hope that's better with the echo. But yeah. Coming through the last sector now. First sector was a 26.8, which is about 0.3 down on what Acid did on his first run. So Sieb looking like going to be about top 10. Yeah, P9 for him for his first run. But I'm sure the track and the drivers are going to get faster and faster over the next 10 minutes.
Coleman's on a lap. He's not improving. He's 800ths down. Coming through 6 and 7 now. And he misses the apex at 6, goes right over 7. Might cost him a bit of time there as well. Through 8 and 9, just stays in bounds. And then 10 and 11. And he misses the apex again. I think he just missed it now. Coming into 12, smashes through it for the final 2. That's my computer screen that I have to read from has gone off. And I think, yeah, he's bailed out. He knows he's not getting any faster. It's not worth wasting an extra lap on these tyres. So we go back and looking at the field. Vita is on a good lap. You got any thoughts, Ghost?
Yeah, I was just keeping an eye on Finlay. It was actually purple in Sector 1
Red.
On that run, and then invalidated at turn 4. As I think that was Spicer just went across the line to go P3, so that's a decent run from him. But we've got...
Sorry, Leonardo completely went wide of turn 11. Luckily, didn't hit the wall. Who else is coming over the line? Wards has just come over the line. If I was 14-063.
Slash coming through Sector 2 is purple in Sector 1, Logan. So we'll see what the Sector 2 time is. Not quite purple this time, but it's looking like a pretty decent run from Slash. Into the last couple corners he comes. Time to beat is a 13.3, of course, and well, no one's gotten anywhere near it so far, so we'll see if Slash can be the first 2. Hasn't set a lap yet, but finally comes across the line to set one, and it's in the end a long way off pole, as Vita comes across just behind and pips him, so Slash goes down to P6.
Napple's weighing backwards. That's in turn 10, and he'll rejoin the track. He doesn't have to worry about... he's got to be careful he doesn't stay there too long. He'll be disqualified. Oh dear, he really is struggling. He doesn't have to worry about the collisions. Obviously, they were off, but it would be much better. He's lost his entire front wing. He's definitely have to come back in, so that will be a bit of a setback for Napple. That should delay him in this session because it will take some time to repair. Not great when that happens, but at least the session is still going to be running. It should do. Whoa! Ward's going up there with a 4.78.
Very nice.
Yes, indeed. 0.12 off, but still the runaway leader is Frank Deshorny, it seems, as Acid slams into the second to last turn. For the final turn, Acid, our championship leader, as Finley's left the session again. Ghost, you know what to do. Yeah. As Acid goes faster, it goes to 5th. 7.83 is the time there. Very good showing. Vita coming back in. Ward's not on a lap. I think it's just Mike Hulley who
Yeah,
is also
and is
coming
not
in.
improving. Yeah, into the pits he goes. So I don't think anyone on a competitive lap right now, but
Nope.
plenty of people on out laps, including Leonardo, who is coming through, was purple in Sector 2 before invalidating his previous effort. So we'll see what he can do this time as he comes into the final sector, as it looks like you're going to have to get me up to speed on pronunciations of some of these names, Logan. But Zviade, I'm going to go for in P14.
That's what I'm going to say. Schwiadek. It's probably just...
Yeah.
It's probably a Polish name. I apologise if I get the nationality wrong. He's the only one on a lap, and he's coming through turn 5 right now. I was just about to plug someone, but I guess we'll wait until the break. Look at them just bouncing over 6 and 7. We need to promote these sponsors. They're very important to us. Without them, we wouldn't be an entity.
Absolutely. I'll leave that to you, Logan.
Yes, shout out to GT Omega and Sim Racing Centre. More on them in a moment. As Viadeck coming through the final 2 corners, both 180-degree hairpins, or as I call them, paper clips. Well, actually, that's supposed to be Martinsville, but that's beside the point. Only just outside the top 10. I say just, he's about 3 tenths off the top 10. There used to be a rule in PSGL that, well, actually in F1, where you had to start on a different tyre. You could start on a different tyre, you had to start at the same tyre you used in qualifying the top 10. That was gone about 22, I'd say. As Sieb is about to cross the line and goes into the top 10. You can choose whatever tyres you want now.
Leonardo Logan coming around the final corner. Sorry to interrupt. He's 3 tenths up on his previous best, and pole position.
Lovely.
A 13.339, and someone has finally unseated Franak from that top spot, and it is the man in P2 in the championship. So a crucial lap, especially considering the championship leader is currently languishing in P6.
Great job from one of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, EVE drivers. Sorry.
Oh. Don't speak too soon, though, Logan, because Franek is coming around the final corner and is 2 tenths up. Purple in Sector 2. What's it going to be across the line? It is a 13.1, not quite into the 1 minute 12s as of yet, but it is enough to take a, once again, as it stands, dominant pole position. So we'll see if anyone can rise to the challenge.
Spicer is not improving. He went wide about the last corner, I believe. Vita is on a lap right now. 5 to go here at the Hungary. And a lot of drivers are on track right now, including Predestinato. Did you invite Finley, by the way? Sorry.
I did invite him
back. Okay. He's just not been getting anywhere. He did get a 5-second penalty last week, by the way, so he did move down positions. As we try and, sorry if we're just scrolling through and I'm giving you epilepsy. I'm just trying to find a driver to be on board with. Chris Rebel, I guess, is on a lap.
Yeah, Predestinato as well, coming across the line for his first run, and it's P13 in the end. It's at least on pace, but it's nothing to write home about, as the driver behind, I believe that was Napple, coming across the line to go P7 in the meantime. But it doesn't look like anyone else, according to my telemetry, Logan, is improving at the moment. Everyone either on in-laps or struggling to beat their previous bests.
Well, let's look at Mike Pulley, who is the last amongst those in the 113s, and he's bailed. Everyone seems to be giving up the ghost, and I think this gives us time. Well, we do have Acid and Napple on laps. We'll just check in with those first. I was going to mention we have a cool sponsor you should check out, and his name is GT Omega, the title sponsor of PSGL, the leading manufacturer of gaming peripherals, from gaming chairs to sim racing cockpits. You could use the code PSGL at the checkout for 5% off on GT Omega products.
Absolutely. Do please check them out. And supporting them supports PSGL as well. So yeah, please do make sure you check them out. Everyone at the moment heading into the pits, including Predestinato. The only man out on track right now is Wards, currently in 3rd place. And round the final corner, he could run into a bit of traffic if anyone comes out the pit lane right now, but I think he'll just about be fine. And well, he's not happy to wait until the end of the session. He wants to get a move on and get a lap in with 2.5 minutes to go, and he flies down towards turn 1, down the gears, nearly invalidates on the inside, gets that curb perfectly, and DRS down to turn 2.
Into turn 2 he goes slap bang into the apex, and then on the exit very nicely, slips right through into turn 3, and now turn number 4 coming up, shakes it off, coming through turn 5 now. Nicely done. And finally, Finley's in the session, and just in time. Hopefully he doesn't disconnect. Whoa! Look at him going through 6 and 7. He's got bad blood with those 2 corners, I tell you.
Absolutely, yeah. He's really struggling to improve, and I think he's going to have to go for another run unless he comes through sector 2. Yeah, 3.5 tenths down, and I think that might even be Ward's qualifying over, because he's not going to have a lot of ERS left if he wants to go again, and 1.5 minutes to go. I don't think there's improvement for him, so we'll see how far he moves down the table as he heads into the pits for the last time until the race begins.
Look what that track made him do. Pardon me with the Taylor Swift puns, I'm sorry. And he's given up. Well, I've got to make it accessible to all, you see. You know, we've got to get new viewers from everywhere we go. Anyway, Chris Rebel is going to be the first to set the final frontier of laps on 1:15 to go. We should be getting round and setting laps here. You can do this course in under 1:15. Chris Rebel locks up into the first corner. I think that's the meta game, though. Getting the first corner. Vita also on his lap. I think we should be watching Leonardo in his quest to be pole position. Remember, bonus point if you can get pole position. Just to mention, also check out Sim Racing Centre, our lead provider of all things F1 24. If you need a setup, engineering, or even advice from Brendan Lee, yes, the 2-time champion of esports, Brendan Lee. His Wards is setting a great first sector. You can get that with the code PSGL at 10% off your purchase at Sim Racing Centre. Go check it out. Oh, what's up? Oh no, he's invalidated.
Chris had a big slide through turn 5 as well, so no, I don't think there'll be any improvement for the Bulgarian, as Vita, meanwhile, coming through, was purple in sector 1, so let's see what he can do in the middle sector. Down towards that sector line he comes, 4 tenths up. It's not purple, but it's looking pretty good for perhaps a front 2 rows for Vita, currently sitting 4th in the championship, and got himself a podium last week, and he's looking to do that again as he comes around the final corner. Just enough ERS left to push all the way to the line. What's it going to be across the line? 13.4. It is 4th place, but how many others are going to unseat him as Spicer comes through the final corner as well? And it's a 13.4, just about puts Vita down to P5. Acid, championship leader, only 7th.
Not impressive from Acid. You'll be disappointed with that. Cooley's improving, but not enough. Finley, we haven't even seen Finley all day, but here he is.
He's purple in sector 1.
There.
Oh, he's going to need to beat a better time, though. 13.0 from Franek. So Finley has got some work to do here. Hasn't been able to set a lap due to the disconnections. He's coming through sector 2. What's it going to be across the sector line? 26.3. It's not purple according to my telemetry. So we'll see what he can do across the line now.
Oh no, he's left the session again! Can you believe it? He has no luck. As Predestinato remains in his position, it is pole position for Frank Deshoni. He gets a bonus point. And we will be taking a brief intermission because of the rules. Look at that, 1/4 second. It was not even close between him and Leonardo. Spicer getting in the second row with Napo, who got there at the last minute. Wards and Vita will be on the 3rd row. Coleman and Acid will make up the 4th. Slash and Rebel on the 5th. Sieb and Moikuli on the 6th. Predestinato and Svidak on the last full row, row 7. And Eve Finley, who's disconnected quite a lot, all alone in roll number 8 did not set a time.
Indeed, yeah. We'll have to see if Finley can, well, first of all, fix his connection and then get his way back up the grid. I do know Finley from elsewhere, and he's had connection issues all game, to be honest with you, Logan. So hopefully it doesn't strike for him again today. But yeah, Franek on pole position, and considering he's only got 6 points so far in this championship after 4 rounds, he'll be hoping for a bit of a resurgence in this race.
Indeed. So just ignore what happens here, because this is just not a race. Everyone must stay in the lobby. But I do fear, I'm not sure if Finley will stay in the session. So that'll be a bonus point for Frank Shorney, and that will be good enough to send him above, I believe, Predestinato. So he will go up a place with this, as obviously there's no race here, just ignore what's happening. All the cars, they're ghosts, they're just like you. They're all ghosts.
Well,
what a drive. What a shot.
They're all trying to spin and get themselves out of the session. But yeah, no, there is the problem with Finley. And okay, there we go. The last retirement has ended the session, so that's fine. But hopefully Finley can get back in. Finley has said something in the chat which is very interesting in the Discord. He said that he crossed the line and he was still driving on his POV, and he did a 13.2, which would have put him in the top 4. So I don't know if the PSGL admins will act on that.
No.
But I doubt it.
I doubt it as well. So Finley wins, apparently, despite doing nothing. Oh, and he's destroyed the trophy again, and they've got the wrong trophy on there anyway. It's supposed to be that cup.
We do have an intermission now, like you said, and I think, I'm not sure, I think the lobby host is going to set everything, so no problem. But in the meantime, I guess I'll just introduce myself better. I'm Ghost. Like I said at the start of the stream, this is my first race that I'm commentating for PSGL, so exciting and a bit nervy for me. So I hope I can work well with Logan, and we can bring you a great race today. But yes, welcome to everyone watching in the chat, and thank you, Scott, for the support. I know him from elsewhere as well in the chat, but yeah, much appreciated. And yeah, we'll just wait for the lobby to get back underway again.
Geez, while I speak, breaking news. Apparently, Seismic signals of liquid water found deep inside Mars' rocky crust. There is water on Mars, apparently.
How about that?
I'm moving to Mars. Come on, NASA, get me there.
Can't be worse than here, right?
According to Forbes, which is quite a reliable source.
It is. Maybe the Martian film will become reality.
Let's hope when we get there, there's no martial law.
Oh.
Sorry. We nearly had that here last week.
Well, you're not wrong.
Probably could have done with it. Looks like we're going to get in the way soon.
Yep, everyone readying up, so race beginning to get underway. I forget, Logan, do PSGL do formation laps or do they forego that?
I don't know. Oh no, they don't.
Okay. I did think so, but just making sure. So we will get underway pretty shortly. I hope no one forgets their setups, but I think all of these drivers are more than accomplished enough to avoid making that mistake. It's something we've all done at some point in a league race, but yeah, we're about to get underway for, I think, 35 or 36 laps of Hungary, and well, the championship leader Acid is the main story here. Down in P7, has a lot of work to do to get himself up, especially with his main rival Leonardo all the way up on the front two rows.
Yeah, so reminder here is the lineup. Unfortunately, Finlay did say he had a P2 time, but due to the rules, he has to start at the back. Very unfortunate for him. As you see, 3 drivers are on the hards, the rest are on mediums, so should be an interesting race strategy-wise. The problem is we don't ever see a clock here, unlike the drivers do, which is quite weird.
Huh. Yeah. We can only hope that one day EA will make the spectator settings a lot better on these games, but I think we might be waiting quite a while. And by the way, Logan, you nailed it earlier. Zviadek is a Polish name. His flag in game is the Polish flag, so
that's good to know. So we're just waiting for the start.
Drivers just getting their setups ready. I am interested to see how many start on the hards or mediums, maybe even the softs, but I don't think that's a viable tyre around this track if I remember rightly, but who knows? I did say earlier, Hungary can be a very strategic race in the pit stops, and I think we will see that today. As we're about to get
here we go. 5 lights ahead of 15 drivers. And underway here in the Hungaroring, it is going to be Frank Deschorny that leads him off. But immediately, Leonardo's going to take the lead here. And he gets ahead. But look at this, Spicer coming into the inside. Dives right in. Spicer takes an early lead. Lots of bumping, and that's Leonardo losing a lot of positions after collision with Acid, I think. No, what is going on? Some cars are just dropping right down the order. And Frank Deschorny is one of them, along with Leonardo. He did collide with Leonardo out of the first corner, and he's lost a lot of ground, a lot of positions already. It is Spicer in the lead, as that is Vita and Slash losing position as well. Finley making his way up already. He's battling with the Destinato, and that is Leonardo losing another position. It's all going wrong for Leonardo, who started in the front row. He just losing all those positions already. You don't want to be doing that this early on in the race.
And that one was to the championship leader as well. He had such a good platform to start this race on, some 5 places ahead of his rival, and now he's behind him after 1 lap. Disastrous start for Leonardo, but what a start for Spicer that was, down the inside of both front row cars to take the lead. And then we nearly had 5 cars wide into turn 2, but they just about backed out in time. But yeah, Franek and Leonardo getting a bit of contact as well on the exit of turn 1 nearly ended in tears.
And it's still a battle, and this is for a top 10 spot. It's between Marculli and Chris Rebel, and in the inside goes Marculli, and he's going to win this battle and take 10th place. Eva Finley and Predestinato also battling there, and that is won by Finley. Further up, there's Acid right on the back of Deschorny, the championship leader, behind the pole sitter, coming through 4 and 5. How close they are already. This track doesn't like drivers driving close to each other, though, so they've got to make most of it as they can. Spicer still ahead of Coolman. It's an LLR 1-2. Very well represented are the esports team tonight.
Yeah, it was Acid now putting a lot of pressure on Franek, who started on the hards, by the way, as did Leonardo, and now all the mediums apart from Acid ahead of both of them. So they're medium runners looking to get a decent first stint here to try and get as much distance between them and the hard runners as possible. But Leonardo staying with the pack along with Franek, that's going to be crucial to their race later on, as Acid is going to try and get this place as soon as possible, but just no place to overtake through sector 2. And another move for Finley as he goes up to P11 in his recovery drive. It looks like another overtake between Moikulli and Slash for P9 there.
Yes, Finley already made up 4 positions. It's only been 2 laps. He's showing what his form really is. He's trying to bounce back from his connection issues, his unsuccessful appeal, and his 5-second penalty from last week. Moikulli and Slash have been battling down the straight for 9th place. It looks like Moikulli will lead that right now. But Spicer well ahead. He's already jumped 2 positions. Coolman's jumped 5 positions from 7th. What a start. Everyone's been shifting except those in 13th and 14th.
Yeah, absolutely incredible starts from Coolman and Finley are the ones that jump out, but Spicer as well, he only made up 2 positions, but it was an incredible getaway and a brilliant move up the inside of turn 1 as well for the NLR man. And, well, he's going to look to control this race now for this first stint. The medium runners will have to come in earlier than the hards, and they're going to try and make the most of that undercut and hope they don't get caught in too much traffic. But the grid very close together at the moment. It has split into 2 groups. We've got the top 6 and then a bit of a gap between Leonardo and Vita, between 6 and 7, and then everyone else behind in a long DRS train, as well as Coolman nearly looked to the outside of Spicer down to turn 2, couldn't quite make the move and backed out just in time. But Coolman looking for another position to add to his haul here.
That wasn't actually my reaction to it. Finley just make a massive dive on Slash to get into the top 10. That's where the money is paid. What a move from Finley.
Wow, he's absolutely flying up the grid now. Fingers crossed he doesn't have any other connection issues, because he could really get his way up the pack here with moves like that. He's putting all the pressure on Moikulli now. He's making the most of those medium tyres as well. and will be hoping to get in with the rest of the pack once he comes into the pits. But he's got to make a few more moves before we can do that, and that's very deep there. I don't know if that'll have been a track limits warning, but we'll have to see later on, as Nappel is the first one to get a track limits penalty. And well, like you say, already on lap 4, I think there's going to be plenty more of those today.
Yeah, be prepared to watch as the NLR boys are going to do a switcheroo. This is probably to protect their 1-2, as Ward is closing up behind. Look at them just jostling for position, and that's a great exit for Ward. He's going to try and make a move into turn 2, but it's not going to be enough. NLR hold for now, but look how close they are now. Nothing separating the top 6, as the other train is also battling hard. Vita leading that train of Nappel, Marcoli, Finley, / Chris Predestinato, and Sviadek.
Oh, Ward's nearly binning it there at turn 5, just on that inside curb. It's so easy to lose the rear if you get too far on that, but he just about keeps it going. It's fairly easy to save these cars, but you do have to react fast, as Coolman and Spicer still lead the way, and they may be in the same esports team, but not in the same racing team in PSGL this season. Coolman in the Mercedes and Spicer in the Williams, but obviously that's impossible to tell with the multiplayer cars at the moment.
Yeah, we've all gone full F3, or F2, sorry. Full F2 livery rules. Anyway, Coleman still leading now. Is there going to be another switch between Spicer and Coleman as part of their strategy? Not right now, and they look like there's going to be a move. There is a move. Nappel, who needs to make up this 3 seconds, has got past Vita and now is in the lead of the train of the peloton, I'd say, starting from 7th downwards.
Yeah, he certainly is, and yeah, it's all about that second group at the moment, as Finley had a little look at turn 3 there on Vita. That could have ended in tears, but Finley, or not Vita, on Moikuli, sorry, as he goes through, Moikuli hits the back of Vita though, contact, and Finley takes full advantage, goes down the inside, and that's a great opportunistic move from the British driver. He's up to P9, and Vita is his next target.
Finley is on fire! Coming through all the drivers already. It's only lap 6. At this rate, he'll win the race. But let's not get too excited. Frank Deschorny, a pole sitter, who started on the hard, so understandably did lose some ground, so we have an advantage coming to the business end of this race. Stuck in 4th right now, and he is waiting for an opportunity to open up. And it is being ruled, as you can see, right behind Ward. I think he's going to try and make the move. They've all got DRS. The first place driver hasn't. Acid's got it. Leonardo's got it, and they're going to be battling their own battle here. And he's going to go into the inside, and he's going to take the position from Ward, and back into the podium spots he goes, unless there is a response from Ward into turn number 2. That doesn't look like it. Elsewhere, Acid's ahead of Leonardo in 5th place.
And it is another move from Finley as well, Logan. He's up to P8. He got past Vita down towards turn 1, and he is now going to be chasing after Nappel, who's 1.1 seconds up the road. So Finley will definitely be hoping to get in that DRS range by the end of the lap, so he's not too vulnerable to Vita behind. But a bit of a slide through turn 5. I do wonder how those medium tyres are going to fare.
Oh, I wonder, because we're only on lap 7. That's 20% distance. Oh, and that's Finley nearly going off the track. Don't do that, not now, after all that work you put in, as Acid's going to try and look for a move at Ward in an unorthodox area of the track. But he ain't going to do it, not right now, as look how close Frank Deschorny. I think the hard tyre runners are starting to feel their groove, and they're starting to get one up on the medium tyre runners coming out of the final corner. Deschorny is now going to try and pass not 1 but 2 NLR cars. Spicer has the DRS, and he's going to overtake and preserve that NLR 1-2. Oh, that's a big mistake, and there's that damage from Deschorny as he loses position again to Spicer. Coleman in the lead. And Deschorny, that was that damage. I don't think so. It might have been from the back of the car. I don't see any on the front wing of Deschorny.
I think it was just visual, Logan. My telemetry doesn't say there's any damage to his car. But Finley, by the way, has pitted early. He's gone for the undercut and got those hards on early. So he's going to be looking to get his way into the front pack once everyone else has come in. And, well, I said it was going to be a strategic race, and it's certainly looking that way at the moment.
Indeed it is. You can see Coleman still ahead of the pack. Spicer and Frank Jashorny coming in hot as the hard tyre runner starting to show his dominance. But yeah, interesting
Leonardo
from Finley.
Oh, he had a bit of a rear lock-up. He went for it into that right-hander at the end of Sector 2, but he couldn't quite get the move done on Acid, locked the rears, and, well, it's definitely high time for those hard tyres now. I think those mediums starting to wear away as Moikuli is the next to bin off those medium tyres.
The lead is being contested into the first corner, and Jashorny's part of it. Can he capitalise on any possible mistake by Spicer? Yes, he is! That's on Spicer, and he's going to take second place. So Frank Jashorny getting his way back up to where he says he belongs, the top dog, he says. Well, he's already done one part of the job, and now he has to get past Coleman, but look how close these drivers are. This is 2/3 of a second separating the top four. You don't get this in real Formula 1, no matter how exciting it's been recently in the real world. This is the real deal.
Yeah, absolutely. This is fantastic stuff. We are on lap 9 still, so plenty of time left in this race for plenty more battles. And, well, the Alpine driver who started on pole is now looking to take back that P1 that he lost at the start. Coolman just starting to struggle on those mediums. You can see the better grip that Jashorny has on those tyres. And, again, a bit of a moment for Coolman, and you have to think that it's now inevitable into turn 1 that Jashorny's going to take back the lead.
No takers for the pits. Frank Jashorny has a clear run at Coolman. DRS on a full blast. Here he comes. The guy that started on pole is back into the prime position you want to be. First place. As that is a move from Leonardo. No, not Leonardo. It's it is Leonardo. And Acid's going to try and come back here, but I don't think he's going to get it. That's a great move from Leonardo. Bravery pays off, but he's made a mistake there at turn 2 as Finley sets the fastest lap and passes 2 drivers out of pit. He's on 12th place now.
The top 2 in the championship going wheel to wheel into turn 1 for the second time this race, by the way. And Leonardo making the most of those hard tyres. Definitely those mediums starting to falter compared to the hards as Coolman, Spicer, Wards and Acid have got to think about pitting soon. I don't know if they'll know about the gains that Finley's made from that early undercut, but we'll see if they can respond to it in kind. I wonder if there'll be any takers into the pits this lap. I would have thought so, but who knows?
Well, let's find out. As look how close Napple is to Acid. He is tempting a move anyway, but is there going to be any takers to the pits? Yes, there is! It is the 2 NLR drivers that are going to be in the pits, and we've got a yellow flag. And it is Sieb. Sieb has had a spin out of the penultimate corner as we have 2 takers to the pits. And that is a battle there. Is that Acid? Yes, and Napple's coming up on the inside. Napple coming up on the inside. They're still side by side coming out of the turn. And now they're going to be jostling into turn 2. They're banging wheels. This is getting don't get too dirty now. Well, Acid has somehow held on to position. Napple is having enough. He's pushing him. He's actually pushing him. And pushing him through turn 3. Now it's getting a little naughty, folks. Come on, let's simmer down a bit, please. I know I'm not the teacher, but he's going for it, is he? Surely not.
This is so tight here. All they're doing, though, is losing each other time at this point, as Leonardo with a penalty, Sieb as well, as the track limits penalties start to flood in. But they really need to start thinking about pitting, I think, because those who've undercut them are just going to gain more and more time as these 2 battle, as Napple looking to the inside again, but breaks late, hits the back of Acid, but no harm done. And these 2 really getting nasty with each other now. Napple desperately trying to make this move before they pit, I think. And Napple staying out though. Acid in, and interestingly Ward's in as well. So Napple of course staying out on those hards, but now that's all the medium runners have binned off those tyres, and they'll be onto the hards looking to make that undercut work.
Don't think Vita will be happy that his esports compatriot Acid was being toyed around with by Napple. Napple's had a spin into turn 1. Out of turn 1, I should say, and it's a virtual safety car because of the damage on the track. The front wing not completely off, and that's just bad luck because everyone's past the pits, and Napple is what's he doing? Is he trying to pass for Chris Rebel? Don't even think about it. You lost those positions because you made a mistake. You're going to have to pit. That's a foolish move, in my opinion. Not to be too harsh, trying to pass with a broken wing. That's like going swimming without you. No. It's like skydiving without a parachute. There we go.
Don't forget under VSC as well, so it wouldn't have worked either way.
Exactly.
But yeah, Napple getting a little impatient there, but he's got no wing. It was his own mistake. There was no contact that I could see.
No.
And we do have green flags again, so no one's going to get any advantage for pitting now, which I expect the ones who've already pitted were a little worried about, but they have gotten away with it, and they're underway again, with Napple going to have to come in to replace that front wing.
And there he goes, coming into the pits. Don't do a David Coulthard in Adelaide, please. Very good. And then he comes and Acid now, and I think he's given up the ghost. He's got a 3-second penalty. He's lost his front wing. You'd have had to pit anyway. It's over. For Napple, he's out of the race.
Oh, it's another move from Finley, meanwhile. He's up to P6 now, getting past Sieb, who hasn't stopped yet. And Finley's only 10 seconds behind Chris now. Considering all the top 5 haven't pitted, I think Finley might even be in a net P1 here, Logan. And,
no way.
Well, those top 5, they will have a long time yet before they pit, but, well, Finley looking to take full advantage here of those fresh, hard tyres. That undercut could well have worked perfectly for him, but a long way to go.
He never had connection issues. He just pretended that so he could do a last to first challenge. This is fantastic. As I look forward back, and Spicer is trying to get past Sieb. This is for 8th place. Sieb already has a 3-second penalty for cutting corners, which is not what you want to do. And that's Sieb gone off the track. It should be easy pickings for Sieb, and it is. I think Sieb's tyres are starting to feel the heat.
I think Sieb himself is feeling the heat after that spin earlier as well. I think he's just lost all confidence in the car. He seems to be losing the rear every corner now. And, well, I think he's got a long race ahead of him. He's going to have to hope for some more DNFs, or at least to get his head back in the game as soon as possible. We've got our second retirement. That's Predestinato also in the pits, calling it a day. But Spicer taking full advantage of Sieb's struggles and getting his way up to P8.
Once again, another week of me not being able to say Il Predestinato Vince. Let's apologise to our Italian viewers watching.
I don't think any apology is necessary for that one. That was pretty good.
Well, they'd want it. That's what they say when Charles Leclerc wins.
Well, Finley now only 8 seconds behind that top 5. It was 10 seconds just a minute ago.
Sieb another spin.
Yeah, he's really struggling. I wouldn't be surprised to see our third retirement as he approaches the pit lane on this lap. He is having a nightmare out there. It's just not happening. He's clearly got no confidence in the car, and either a case of wrong setup or just struggles with this circuit. And yeah, Sieb into the pit lane. I think that's going to be a retirement.
Yeah, shame for Sieb. Sometimes it's just not going to be your day. Finley in 6th place, but what you probably said, a net first, which would be insane if that's the case. Coming through turn number 2, he's got company behind. That's Coolman and Spicer on fresher rubber, so be interesting to see how this plays out.
Absolutely, those hard tyres will go a very long way. They do on most tracks on this game for not a very high price. They're usually pretty good as well on pace. So Finley taking advantage of that to come into the pits very early and get that undercut. It's worked so far, and he is lapping some 1.5 seconds faster than the top 5 at the moment. So we'll see if he can keep that up, and whether he can keep those 2 NLR drivers behind who are chasing him down. Acid a little way back, 2 seconds between the championship leader and those 3 ahead, and he's gone very deep there, has Acid. At that right-hander, so having some struggles of his own, but now they go down towards turn 1. Finley's under pressure here, but so is Vita. Gets passed by Slash for P3 further ahead.
And Coleman's looking for a move, and he's going to get it here. Finley trying to defend. I'm surprised he's still fighting it, but he's not going to get any DRS from that, is he? No. There's only one detection zone, and that's at the penultimate corner. Finley finally bogged down a position. He'll have to try and mount a comeback, otherwise he's just going to start falling down the order.
Yeah, I think he should be able to stay with these two as long as he can stay in the DRS, and he's got the pace to do that, honestly. His tyres won't be that much worse than the 2 NLR cars, but yeah, he's got some work to do here if he does want to get this race win. But look how quickly they're catching those top 5. Giorgione is some 5 seconds clear of Leonardo, so he's doing very, very well at the front. So he's far from out of this race, but I do think these 3 all have a fantastic chance of a podium, which is incredible to be saying about Finley, given where he started this race.
So Vito looking, trying to get the move back on Slash. And on the inside, he's got it. There it is, into the 3rd place once again. Meanwhile, further back, that's Finley and Spicer dueling. And he nearly hits Coleman into the back, but he somehow holds on. And he's going to get DRS out of turn number 1 as well, but nothing helping here. He stays within 7th position. And Spicer itching to get past.
There's history between these two as well, Logan. Finley and Coolman have had, well, certainly last week, they had a bit of a disagreement, shall we put it, with regard to a bit of contact between them. Well, I don't think there's any love lost between the two, that's for sure. Coolman will be very much hoping to get one over on him today, and at the moment he's doing exactly that, but still very close. And by the way, that 2-second gap has come down to 1.1 between these 3 and Acid. So the championship leader ramping up his pace and getting back into the battle for the podium.
All of a sudden it's become anyone's race. Meanwhile, Frank Giorgione is still out there on the medium tyres. He has been having a horrible start, but with all the pit stops happening, he's back into the lead with these hard tyres, but you will have to pit eventually. Of course, the rules are you must use 2 compounds at least in a dry race. It's the rules. It's technically no mandatory stop, but you've got to basically force, but the juror, you have to pit.
Yeah, absolutely. And well, given the performance of those mediums in the first stint, I would expect that we're going to have to wait until at least sort of lap 24 or so, maybe a little earlier, but around that distance, I would say, until we start seeing the first pit stops from those top 5. And well, they're running out of time though, because Coolman and Co were already within 2.5 seconds of Chris, and before long, I would expect either next lap or the lap after, they will be in DRS range of those 3 ahead, and then it's only 8 seconds to the leader, so a lot of work to do for those who started on the hards.
Absolutely. So they come round the final corners and start lap 19 as I nearly fall off my chair. We've passed the halfway point and we're living on a... No, we're not living on a prayer. Sorry, Bon Jovi. No moves seem to be happening between these 3, which is quite interesting. We have seen a lot of battles between them in the past few laps. As you can see, Slash trying to duel for that podium spot. Leonardo still effectively in second place, but he has that 3-second penalty lingering above him, so we'll have that added at the end of the race.
Yeah, I've been riding on board with Finley for a little while. I think he's starting to lose the grip that he once had on those hards, and well, he's staying with Coolman for now. And of course, Coolman's going to approach those three ahead and start losing time again. But I think Finley will be wishing for that to come sooner rather than later, because otherwise there's a real risk that he falls out of range of the car ahead. And they come through into the final sector now. It's just 1.1 seconds. Where's the detection point? It's just after this corner. Is Coolman going to get DRS? He is 9.5 tenths over the line. So DRS for Coolman, and suddenly a 3-car train has become a 6-car train.
And I'll be looking to make up as much time as he can as he comes down the straight. No gain, it seems. As that is... Oh, sorry. That's Spicer on the inside. Finley, oh my goodness. Finley loses it and then hits Spicer. Spicer gets position and somehow he has not lost. Oh, and he's really struggling out there. I hope that's not his connection again.
I don't think so. I think there was just contact, and well, Spicer's not going to be happy because he has front wing damage, and it's pretty major as well. Front right end plate, or front left end plate is gone from that car, so Spicer going to really struggle for the rest of this race now. Is he going to decide to pit, or is he going to ride it out here? I think he'll decide to ride it out. It's not too bad on this track having front wing damage, but he's still going to have a huge loss of performance as Coolman looking to get this move done on Chris, who's got 10 laps older tyres, looks to the inside but backs out in the braking zone. But surely this move's going to be done sooner rather than later, and well, these cars who pitted earlier are really ramping up the pressure now as Leonardo feels the pressure. He's into the pit, and earlier than I thought, Logan.
That's quite interesting. So they all drift past through him here as Spicer is starting to lose position, and now Finley is lost position to Spicer. And Coolman is finally past Chris Rebel, and now he's going to be right on the back of Slash, who is struggling.
Whoa, Acid down the inside of
No
Finley
way.
into turn 2. They're going side by side still through turn 3. Acid finally backs out, but that was an audacious dive from the championship leader as he looks to make up positions on the man who started this race in last place. And Finley, I think, starting to struggle on those tyres now. The undercut seemed good at first, but I think he's starting to pay the price for it now.
I was very doubtful. He's now in, I make it 4th place. Sorry, maybe 3rd, because of course Chris Rebel's just been passed. And now he might be made to pit again, I fear. And you don't want to do that in a one-stop race. As you can see, look at all the drivers coming very close to each other. Meanwhile, Frank Deshorny has built a 10-second lead. Now, this could be crucial when he comes in. If he has the right tyres, and he's done his math correctly as Vita's pit, this could come down to the wire for Deshorny, as now Coolman is going to make the move on Slash for what will be 2nd position on the track, but I call that the net lead.
And Spicer down the inside of Chris as well. Finley and Acid going wheel to wheel again. 3 wide through turn 1. And Acid gets his way ahead. Finley loses 2 positions as Wards finds his way through as well. Wards up to P7, and Finley, after it was looking so promising about 10 laps ago, now finds himself at the back of this train, and that's just where you don't want to be in these sorts of races. And well, if this is anything to go by, we've got a 7-car train here for what is the net lead of the race. And even if Deshorny does get that pit stop and does have much more pace than these guys, goodness me, it's going to be a struggle to fight his way back to the front.
Who knows who's going to win this race? Look how close Acid's to Chris Rebel. This is the championship leader too. He's got Wards and Finley behind him. Look at them. They all itching to get through. They all thinking of getting through. Frank Deshorny finally comes in, and he's got a lot to make up. He'll be going on the mediums first, sure. As Chris Rebel, I think, is going to be pitting as well.
And Jashorny finally into the pits as well. The race leader will go onto the mediums to the end, but he's got to do 13 laps on them. And we saw the medium runners start to struggle within 10 laps in the first stint. So this is going to be quite the drive if Jashorny can get this back on the podium, never mind a win. He comes out in P8 and he's crucially some 3 seconds clear of Leonardo. But I mean, if we remember that gap from earlier on, he was 10 seconds ahead before Leonardo came in. So he's lost 7 seconds in a 2-lap undercut.
Indeed, he has. Coleman's well clear. He's 2 seconds ahead of Slash. Slash is just holding them up now. Spies are not liking it at all. And to boot, he's still got that damage he's not fitting. Quite brave of him to stay out there. No one's passed him yet, so it looks like it's working. Mike Cooley gets a 3-second penalty. And Jashorny, he's not half a tenth behind, ignore that, but Mike Cooley is really struggling out there. So I'm sure it'll be a matter of time before Jashorny gets the move.
I imagine he'll get it. I imagine he'll get it comfortably into turn 1. Apologies, Logan. And oh no, not into turn 1, into the penultimate corner. He's already up to P7, 4.7 seconds to the pack ahead. Slash into the pits though. He hasn't stopped yet, of course. Yeah, of course. So finally coming in, but does get a 10-second penalty for speeding.
Acid's got damage. He's ran in the back of Spicer and he's got damage. Acid, the championship leader, takes a huge blow into his championship lead. He's got too cocky, maybe not, I'm not sure, but he got too feisty and he is going to lose out big time because Leonardo is within the pit gap. Well within the pit gap. He's got a penalty, but it won't matter. He might take the championship lead. Anyone might take the championship lead. Coleman is well ahead, but Jashorny is on a charge.
He certainly is, and Acid wasn't the only one to lose out in that exchange. Finley, the hero of this race so far, front wing damage to him as well. I think it was a multi-car collision, and Finley is going to try and ride this out as well, but it's going to be very, very tough for him, and Jashorny should be able to get by him relatively quickly. He is, maybe looking to the inside at that left-hander, but not quite, choosing to send it, and will surely get them moved on into turn 1.
He's not pitting.
Sorry, go for it, Logan.
He's not pitting, and Frank Jashorny is going to get right into 5th place, and now he is 2 seconds behind Wards. Can he catch them in time?
Acid and Spicer contact again, Logan, as they went through turn 1. I think it was only visual, but Acid loses his temper, goes down the inside. What a move into turn 2, but there's still more contact on the exit, and Spicer nearly round, but somehow they've gotten away with it, but Spicer is not going to be pleased about that one.
They've all got damage. Acid, Spicer and Wards all have damage. This is the jackpot for Jashorny, who has a clean slate.
More contact ahead as well. I saw more debris between Acid and Spicer, and here comes Jashorny through Sector 2. There's no real conventional place to overtake here, and Spicer with a 3-second penalty as well. Here comes Jashorny down the inside of Wards, down towards the next corner. Wards kind of lets him go, and Jashorny up to P4, and he's going to be chasing after the race leader here. It is a 6.5-second gap, but the way he's going at the moment, I wouldn't put it past him to close that down in just a few laps. And more contact through the final corner. Jashorny down the inside, but again, Spicer closing him off down towards turn 1. There's still side by side. Somehow Jashorny stays on the inside. Such brave driving. There's more contact ahead. It is chaos here in Hungary.
What's he doing? This is dirty as heck. This is the championship leader. It's supposed to maintain your reputation. I know I shouldn't go overboard with my opinions, but this is just so wrong. Look, he is fuming. Fuming! Look at this. This has got a dirty eye as ever seen. We've had dirty driving, and then there's dirty driving. I didn't come to comment on this. Coolman is in a league of his own right now. He's hit him again.
Into the back of the championship leader as they go through the chicane, and Acid is fighting tooth and nail here, but perhaps a little too hard. And he is not going to be the most popular man in the paddock after this race. Jashorny is going to go for the move down the inside. Spies is out of the race. He's crashed out of that fast right-hander. We've got a VSC.
I'm not sure what happened there. I won't want to comment on that, but we have a VSC. It might be upgraded to a full one, and this, it's not being upgraded to a full one. This is not really helping Coleman. This is only really helping Coleman, I think. And Acid is just furious. Look, Acid, Finley, Wards all have damage. Frank Jashorny's car is clean of damage. If not, it's just superficial. Leonardo's got a clean car, so he could be in the fight here. Yeah, surely you have to pit. Alright, so the race is back on now. Oh, what is this?
Acid again!
Already attacking. Leonardo has already got through into the position, and Acid, surely there's going to be a massive review of Acid's conduct here, because it is just beyond unacceptable.
I think that is game over for him though now, because Jashorny has finally gotten a bit clear and the medium tyres are doing their work, and he's now well over a second ahead, and that's Acid nearly binning it at the right-hander there as well. And well, Finley still could be in with a chance of a podium here despite everything that's happened. He's just 6/10 behind Acid, and both of them have damage. As I can see at the moment, Logan, the only 3 cars with damage are Acid, Finley and Wards, but that is still 3 more than there really should be.
Frank Jashorny trying to mount a challenge on Coleman, who is on 17-lap-old hards versus Jashorny's 5-lap-old mediums. I think it's going to be quite close here. Ward starting to lose more ground. Tries to get the switch back as he's battling Moikuli with damage. But nothing going to do it for him. Moikuli gets that 6th place. Let's get an update on how Acid's feeling. Mate, I know it's Hungary, but you're no Max Verstappen. Go behave. Sorry, Acid. I know it's heat at the moment, but it has been quite a crazy race so far. I just hope this is the end of this kind of behaviour and we can go back and race fairly. But look at the gap! Look at the gap! Frank Jashorny is pulling out a storm of this, and I think Coleman is starting to struggle. He's really starting to feel the pressure here. This could come to the final lap. Maybe before.
I think it's going to be well before the final lap, Logan. I'll update you on the lap times as they come across the line. Coolman comes across, it is a 17.9. Jashorny does a 16.0, 2 seconds faster. He is closing so fast, and Coolman is in a lot of trouble here if he wants to get this race win. Leonardo looks to the inside of Acid for P3. He sends it on those medium tyres, and Finley sends it as well. They're still side by side, Acid and Finley, as they head down towards turn 2. It's Acid with the inside though. He squeezes Finley out and keeps the place, but Leonardo now is going to look to extend that gap and make sure that 3-second penalty doesn't matter and still get himself on the podium.
There is hard racing, and then there's hard racing as Finley gets a penalty, but I'm sure Acid's going to get a bigger one after what we saw. Look at all the damage. That's a massive repair bill. I think that's some 200,000 euros. Doesn't come from us.
Definitely some entries into the PSGL Destructors Championship today. But yeah, it's been a chaotic second stint to this race, and Moikuli, Wards and Vita going wheel to wheel now as well. These 3 still battling it out for the lower points paying positions. Remember, top 10 finishes award points in PSGL, so you know what, Swiatek might not be out of contention for points yet if there's more drama and another DNF to come. But It looks like Coolman has managed to get himself under control a bit, or maybe Jashorny running out of tyres as Vita down the inside of 2 cars into turn 1, nearly makes the double overtake. He might still do it. They're going side by side, him and Moikuli down towards turn 2, but Moikuli's going to hold on. Is he? No, Vita sweeps around the outside. What a move from Vita. He's up to P6.
Vita is in his meta game. As you can see, coming through turn 4, taking 6th place from both his slashes, going into the bad books again. But Frank's starting to close again. 3-6 now, the gap.
He certainly is, yeah. The last lap's a 17.7 for Coolman and a 16.8 for Jashorny, so he is still reeling him in. But is it going to be enough? 3.3 seconds with 5 laps to go at the end of this one. Can he reel that car in and take the win? He's on now 8-lap-old mediums at the end of this one. Let's have a look at the lap times again. Coolman an 18.0, Jashorny a 17.0, so it's another second he's taken out of the race leader.
Frank Jashorny starting to close down Coleman, who started in 7th place. Frank started from this 1st place position and is still in this lead of this race. The Chaos stands behind him. Frank tries to pull off the miracle. You could also hope that Coleman makes a mistake, fumbles, goes off the track and triggers the penalty system. That would be the dagger in Coleman's heart, but Coleman's still holding on. He is a cool man. He is not a cool customer. He is currently 5th place in the championship. This could see him into or close to the lead of the title race. 2.8 separates them. 2.8 as Acid starting to lose ground on Leonardo, and that may be a bit of a sigh of relief for everyone here at the Hungary. Another penalty for Finley. He's just suffering as we look at Jashorny starting to really close down now. He's got 4 laps to make up an average 7 tenths.
And do you know how much he took out of Coolman on that lap, Logan? 7 tenths. He is still closing up, but the gap is decreasing slower and slower now as the laps tick by and Jashorny's tyres get worse and worse, and Leonardo's tyres as well getting worse. And Acid, well, on track, I think. He's definitely on course for a podium here as the championship leader, but he might be in trouble in the stewards' room, who knows. Spicer has been very vocal in the Discord after DNFing from the race. He's very unhappy. So we will see how the stewards shake out, and we'll brief you on that next week. But yeah, it's looking very exciting for this race win, though. Jashorny 2.1 seconds in it with 3.5 laps left to go. Yeah,
he's saying, "You're maybe the worst wheel-to-wheel driver I have ever seen. Finley, you especially." Oh dear, it's got messy in the Discord, folks. Batten down the hatches. 2 seconds is the gap. He took the time he needed to take out. And some. This race is well and truly on. 3 to go.
3 to go, but like I say, that gap coming down still a little slower than it was before, but it should be enough as it stands for Jashorny to at least be in DRS by the final lap. I think you were right, Logan. This is going to come down to the last lap here, as Jashorny still trying to close him down, but the last lap was, again, another 7 tenths he took out of him, but 1.8 is now the gap. He's so close to DRS range, but look at the ERS, I would say. It's pretty close between them at this point.
Boy.
But Leonardo 10.5 seconds behind. He's way out of it. Acid 1.5 behind him. He's just trying to stay within the 3-second range for that penalty. But like I say, we'll see in stewards later on. But Vita as well in this battle.
Yes, indeed. Frank Jashorny. He's not gained a lot of time, I must be honest here. He's only gained about 3 tenths. So is his tyre starting to wear out now?
Definitely, we saw the mediums starting to run out of steam around lap 10 in the first stint, and his tyres are now 11 laps old at the end of this lap. 2 laps left to go, but he only took out 5 tenths from the race leader on that lap, according to the telemetry, but that's not enough as it stands. He needs to be in DRS by the final lap, and it's looking like it's not going to happen.
All that hype may have been for nothing as the midfield continues to battle. Finley and Acid very close to each other, I'd say, but that's a mistake from Finley. It could be Vita getting a chance to get through. He's in a GT10 sandwich.
Slash and Ward's wheel to wheel as well, down towards turn 2 for P8 in the meantime. Slash staying ahead for now, but Ward's is keeping up with him. Those medium tyres starting to wear out for the drivers who started on the hards. And, well, no one is demonstrating that as much as Jashorny. Still only 1.5 seconds is the gap. That is not good enough for the man who started on pole position. It's still going to be a very strong podium finish given the season he's had so far has not been up to his expectations, I don't think. But 1.5 seconds as they come round the final corner. Jashorny's not going to have the DRS, and Coolman just has to keep it on circuit, and he should be able to take this race win.
He will. He's 1-4 ahead, and that's him used up all his battery, Frank Jashorny. He's given it his best, but I don't think he's going to get the victory that he started from pole position with. As we see the midfield battle, Acid is going to the inside here. Uh-oh, this might get messy. Prepare your eardrums. He's going to the inside, cutting off Acid, but this battle's still going to rage on into turn number 2. Is Finley going to try and move? And the inside of Acid, he looks up to it, but he doesn't going to get it. I don't think there's nothing stopping Coolman. Coolman and his perseverance may have just about paid off at the right time. No gain for Jashorny, and Leonardo's well behind.
He certainly is, and well, Swiatek is, excuse
Swiatek.
me, it would be great if I could talk. Swiatek is on course for points here because of the 16 seconds of penalties that Slash has, but the top 2 coming into the last few corners now. It looks like Coolman's going to hold on.
Coolman coming around the final corner. Coolman, who won the first race, did not get anywhere in the next 3, is going to be back on form. He is your winner in the Hungaroring. Frank Jashorny could not hold on, could not get that first place, but he will take a good second place finish. It's his, by far, his best finish of the season. Leonardo's going to come in first. Who's going to get the third place? It's going to be Acid, but it's going to be very provisional, I think, considering the battles they had as Slash is getting that speeding in the pit lane position added. So that means Swiatek is going to get his point. Slash misses out. The speeding in the pit lane proved to be the difference.
Yeah, that is a horrifying mistake for Slash. He'll be mortified that he's lost out on potential points there. Given, especially that only 11 drivers finished the race, it always feels bad to be the one driver who doesn't score points, especially when it's due to a pit lane speeding penalty, which is oh so preventable.
Yeah, so Frank will go up to 19 with that pole position point. Acid, who got involved into a lot of fights early on, late on in the race, will still have the championship lead to that podium, but that is provisional. 44 for him, 39 for Coleman, and Leonardo will be on 41 points, and Vita will be on 33 points. And Finley only managing to get 3 points. We're hyping up the strategy quite a bit. We'll be on 30 points. So we have our first 2-time winner this season, and it's Coleman.
It is indeed, with Jashorny on the podium with him, couldn't quite close him down, just ran out of laps and ran out of tyres. Acid on the podium, but like we say, very provisional. I'll just give you a quick statistic from the telemetry, Logan, which you might find interesting. The mediums by the end, after doing some 13, 14 laps for Leonardo, they were at 67% wear.
Yikes!
with the hards, the guys who started on mediums and went to hards. So the race winner, Coolman, his tyre is only on 47% after doing some 26 laps or something on those tyres. So yeah, the hards definitely the tyre to be on. Those mediums just ran out of steam at the end.
I guess so. Well, I think that will do it for this broadcast. What an interesting race that was. The possibility of there being a fight negated by the unfortunate end for Bowman and controversy in the mid-pack. That is why you should always tune into PSGL no matter what division it is. This will be the last for me here on F3. I'll be moving to F2 permanently from next week. So thank you for having me at Formula 3. F2, so I'll be on at the earlier time of 7 o'clock. But of course, the F3 will be 8 o'clock still, so you better tune in for that with your new host, Daki and Ghost. I'll be alongside T-Dub in F2 with an hour earlier, so you better tune in for that. I would like to thank everyone watching here. Thank you, everyone competing, and thank you, Ghost, for being a lovely co-commentator.
Thank you for being a great start to my PSGL career.
Indeed.
So thank you, Logan, and what a great race it was. Even if there was some controversy along the way, but you know, it happens.
Indeed. We're off to the land of sumo and anime next week. Yep, it's Japan, which will be the Suzuka International Racing Circuit. The figure eight will play host to the 6th round of the 37th season of PSGL on PlayStation. You better be there to see it. Until then, I've been Otaku Logan, and he's been the Ghost, and I bid you a very good night all. Thank you for watching.